Oh, sorry, coach.
All right, everybody. Happy Thursday. Big waves to you. Good to see you. All right, all right. I feel super like special this morning. I got to be with a lot of people here in Utah. And it's always fun to get together. You know, recently I was in Ohio. I've seen a lot of you there in person. It's always fun. So, guys, this is a great community. And it really, the word for today, Marlene, thank you for the word. But the word today is culture. Culture. And if you look at the definition of culture, it's like, well, let me preface this first. I want you to think about you right now, right? Like whatever it is, business, religion, like home, establishment, like what would you say about you right here and what you've created? So if you look at the definition of culture, it's like refers to shared values, shared beliefs, shared behaviors, shared traditions. Like what kind of Christmas traditions do you have? Thanksgiving traditions. What kind of birthday traditions maybe, right? What does your tradition in look like? Maybe it's your family. Like what does it look like? It's standards that you live by. Maybe it's your business and you're like, what traditions do you have in your business? You know, I'm looking, I see Aldea's on. It's like, what do you do when someone hits a rank in your company? Like, do you put something out? Do you create something for them? Do you send them a note? Like, what is your standard? What is your culture that you're creating, right? What about in your office? Maybe you work in an office environment. It's like, what do you do with people's birthdays in your team, in your office, like around people? Like, do you celebrate them? You get them a cake? Like, what do you do? That's culture. It's the standards and the values and the beliefs and the behaviors, the traditions you live by. It's in you. So culture's really kind of this invisible force, but it sets the tone for how things are done. Whether it's in your business, it's in your home, it's in your friend group, like culture determines what's encouraged. It also determines what's tolerated, what you don't put up with, right? And it also determines what you celebrate. Here's why it's so important. Here's why culture. So I want you to think about yourself and you're like, you know what? Right now, I kind of give myself a D minus for culture. You can change that. You can change that. Like you can read a book on culture. You can add like, hey, I need to do I'm gonna write down about a half a dozen things that I can do that would establish culture for Brent Palmer, for Al Diaz, for Brenda Carlton. Because sometimes we look at ourselves, I do at least, and go, man, I'm so good at this area of my life. And then I look at another area and I go, I'm really not very good at that, like a D, D minus. So what I do, it's about a half a dozen things that make up anything. So read, listen to an audio on culture, and then write it down. Like, hey, I could get better at this. I could send a card out when they hit a rank. I could make a flyer for them. Like, it doesn't matter. Make it yours. That's yours. Like, you're the leader of that. And why it's important? Because it builds identity and unity in what you're doing in your church, in your organization, in your family. Like it builds identity. It sets expectation and it also drives behavior. People will pick that up and they will start doing it. Okay. It attract it. Here's, I think, the biggest one. It attracts the right people and it repels the wrong people. I see it all the time. Like when I came into my profession, I'm like, I'm going to do what I did in coaching and teaching and being a high school principal. I'm going to tell people I love them. I'm going to give people hugs. And I see some people, it makes their skin crawl. They're like, I mean, is he in love with me? Right? It's like, I love you like a sister, like a brother, right? Like, is that okay? You know, but what it attracts some and then it might repel others. That's okay. But what I believe culture does is it influences performance. It creates motivation and drive. And ultimately, it creates long term success. When people are like, how does people stay with a group through the ups and the downs and they don't jump ship? Culture. That's how. Culture. So, in short, let me tell you, for all the strategy people in the world, and I'm a strategy person, I love strategy, culture eats it for breakfast. It eats it for breakfast. You want to build an empire of people surrounded that's thick, they got your back, you got theirs. You're going to fight through any obstacle. Culture. It eats strategy for breakfast. So, Andrea, I'll turn it to you. This was a great word for me this morning. And I really look at myself a lot of times, and you've been with me, Andrea, where I'm like, crap, I was so good at sending cards and I've slipped. I was so good at doing this, I've slipped. So I think we've always got to go back to culture and go, okay, am I doing these half a dozen things? It's okay if you slip from it. Just jump back on the saddle, right? Jump back on the horse, John Frick. Start doing it again. I promise you this, even a text message today out to 5 people. Happy birthday. Like you're establishing a certain culture in your life that people will appreciate. So, Andrea, over to you.
Well, I loved it. Great lesson. And I want to say, yeah, some of us were uncomfortable with the hugs and the love in the beginning,
Especially you. Yeah.
especially me. We've warmed up a little. We've warmed up. I'm trying. But anyway, it wasn't part of my culture before. So we have to kind of learn and adapt. But when I saw this word, and yes, thank you so much, Marlene. Definitely appreciate this one. And all I kept thinking about was being at corporate yesterday. And every single time I've been with corporate and at a corporate event, what is one of the things that they show us? Our values, because that is the culture that they are breeding in to all of us. And it's so important internal at the office and then external with all of us. And I will admit that I'm like, we all know these values. Like, why are we reading? And they talked about it, that it's so important to them that they want to have a constant reminder. And I think that's a good lesson for us. So, one of the things that I wrote down for myself was, well, okay, what is my culture in my home? Like, what do I want that to feel like? I need to write down some values about that. What is the culture in my relationships? What's important there? I need to write down some values about that and then revisit it periodically so that I don't lose touch with the things that I was doing at one point and maybe I'm not doing anymore. The quote that I found was, a strong culture is not built by words, but by consistent action. And I love that. And so what I looked into was, okay, that sounds great. Like, I want this beautiful culture. How do I create it? Right? How do we create the culture that we want? And the first thing we've got to do is we've got to model what matters. So if I want, this is a delusional one, I'm going to say it anyway. If I want my kids to pick up after themselves all day long, well, I can't leave little piles of me all over the house, right? If I'm leaving my dirty dishes all over the place, well, you know that they're going to also. And so I've got to model the behavior that I want, because we don't follow rules. I don't know about you guys, but we don't typically follow rules. We follow leaders, we follow action, we follow attitude, we follow the things that are just kind of built in and not somebody telling us, okay, you go do, right? I don't do really well with that, right, coach? So show the attitude, the work ethic, the kindness, the things that you want in your environment. Go do it instead of telling other people to do it. Number two is to set clear values. So define what your non-negotiables are in your environment. What's super important to me? I every time I say this, I kind of chuckle. I like clean, flat surfaces. Okay. So, like, my dream is you come into my kitchen and the counters are empty. But if you come into my kitchen, guess what? They're not empty. There's the coffee pot, there's this, there's that, like there's all the things. So like I've got to realize if that's really such an important value to me, well, I've got to make a way to actually live it, right? Am I actually living something that's really important? What are my non-negotiables of
That
where
reminds me of the time, Andrea, that she tells me that she's vegan. Now, she's the
okay,
biggest meat eater I've
vegetarian at the
ever
time.
seen being vegan. I'm like, wow, I,
We were
I
in
gotta,
Texas, guys. We were in Texas. I
I
was
gotta
starving.
relook. I gotta look up. I have to relook. I gotta look up the word vegan because I've somehow missed it somewhere over the years. Because I mean, I'm like, you're vegan? You say you're vegan, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you just ate a steak.
At
So
that moment in
anyway,
time,
it was.
we need some
I'm still
clarifying
confused about
statements.
vegan.
You can't throw me under the bus without
Sorry.
clarifying statements. So, first of all, vegetarian. I was not vegan at that time. I was a
Okay.
good vegan
Okay.
for 7 years. Second, we were in Texas. I was starving to death. Even their lettuce had meat on it. Like everything had an animal. And so I'm like, if I'm going to eat an animal, it's going to be a good one. And I did have a steak. So there you go. I'm no longer a
All
vegetarian.
right.
Thanks,
All right.
coach.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry. That
Number
was your.
three. He likes, you guys should have seen what he did to me on stage yesterday. The
All
like the humiliation. We'll talk.
right. You finish up with number three. Back to number three, ladies.
What is that, coach? Communicate often. So talk about your culture regularly. So if it's teasing, we've got to tease. We got to keep teasing. If that's our culture, we just have to do it. Recognize the wins and then redirect as needed for the things that do not align. Number four is protect it fiercely. He's trying so hard. Don't let negativity, gossip, laziness creep in because we've all seen it. One bad apple can ruin the whole bunch. Number five is to grow with feedback. So a strong culture evolves. So stay open to suggestions to make improvements together. And then lastly, I'm almost there, coach. Celebrate what's right. So culture thrives when people feel seen and valued. Acknowledge progress and small wins so that we move in the right direction. So there you go, coach.
Okay. All right. Great, great lesson. I got to tell you this as we hang up today. So we're on stage yesterday. Andrea had a brand new outfit. It was a really nice dress. But you know those sensors that when you buy the dress and they're supposed to get off, like it's hanging from the dress. She doesn't know, like she hasn't seen. And so I see it and I'm like, listen, there's two ways to handle this. You can try to see if no one's going to notice, or you can make a joke out of it. So I don't know if you've got a weird sense of humor, but I do.
Sick.
I get on the stage and I'm like, guys, I just want to let you know, look at this. And I showed them that and I said, Andrea makes a lot of money with our company. There was no reason to have to take that with sticky fingers from, and I thought it was hilarious. Andrea was like, I would never steal anything in my life. Like, and I'm like, well, it doesn't look like that. So, I mean, you can't hide that there's a tag unless you want to, call it something else, like an ankle bracelet or something. But anyway, it was
Chris, I'm
good.
headed your way.
Hopefully, she's going to take it back to California, maybe back to the store, get that off for the next wear. So that was the joke. Guys, we love you. We appreciate you. You know what? If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong, right? We got to have fun out there. So love you guys. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you back tomorrow.
Love you guys. Have a beautiful
Love you
day.
guys.